Junsuke Ikeda, born 1875, Japan, owned a farm. He was 50 years old when he died. And I saw the real property being my dad, Hajime Ikeda. Famine hit Japan, all over Japan. Starvation, death. And that's why a lot of them had to come to America, work as, plantation or something. So, Junsuke put his cousin to run the farm. He left behind a retarded daughter, couldn't take her to the new world, and headed with wife Michie Ibuchi. She was born 1892 and headed to Kauai. Worked hard as laborer and later owned, I think, a barber shop, sending money home to his family and daughter. He prospered in Kauai, and famine was over and his Japan farm prospered. At age, and this was old for those days, at age 38, his son, my father, Hajime, was born in 1913, Hanamalu, Kauai. They would travel back and forth to check on their farm. Then tragedy. Then in 1925, Hajime's father died. Hajime was 12 years old.
Is that Grandpa Hajime? Oh.
You see, I explained to them, those days, they all had Japanese first names. But the government said, when you're 10 years old, you live in America, you choose an English name. Yeah? So that's how a lot of them got Nara, Wallace, but actually they were born with Japanese names.
What was Grandma's Japanese name?
Kimiko.
Oh,
That's her middle name. Now they
Now,
use it, yeah.
but she was born with Kimiko. After a while, my grandmother met and married Toga. See, I don't know what the laws were that long ago for women. Women had no rights, right? Especially she was Japan born. And Dad really never spoke about it. The hurt was so deep that he lost his father, that he didn't want to pass on that hurt to his children. You know how you're going to go, that should have been mine, or something like that, He didn't want to pass on that hurt. So most of his life he kept but one. And I was older. He told me about his stepfather. Look at that guy. He drove a taxi. His wife ran away from him, and he had 3 kids scattered over a walk. So that's the worst I heard about his stepfather. So, Dad, with his mom and his little sister, Lillian, who later married Solomon Kaunogi, moved to Honolulu. After the devastation of his father's death, he had to leave his best friend, Isamu Inoue. Dad never talked about his father or best friend, Isamu. The hurt ran too deep. Wanted his family to be free. But Dad and Isamu would touch bases throughout their whole lifetime. A friendship that lasted a lifetime and beyond. There was a Dr. Simpson who raised purebred German Shepherds. So Dad was given 2. And one of them, he gave to Uncle Wayne, Rusty. You folks, any of you remember Rusty, his German Shepherd?
Yeah. Uncle Wayne's dog, Rusty.
Yeah. And then the other German Shepherd, he shipped off to his best friend on Kauai. And when the shepherd died on Kauai, he had it cremated and he kept that ashes. Isamu drafted and sent to their dad a plumeria tree named after a Hawaii missionary. We still have it. The flowers are huge, like this. Huge. But you cannot make it big. Maybe for a horse, but not for regular. And I think a year ago, a couple of years ago, Wayne, who was home, mentioned there was an Isamu Inoue, old man, king, his son or grandson helping him walk, came to the door, and Wayne told them, come inside, but Isamu told him, no, I just want to walk the land. You see, he wanted, maybe he was dying too, I don't know. He flew from Hawaii. He just wanted to walk the land. His good friend, and they stayed only like half an hour. And they left.
You walked this property then?
That his best friend walked. He didn't want to come in the house or anything, you know. So, in Honolulu, Dad and stepfather Koga rounded up his 3 kids. One, Richard, that's the youngest, was living in a horse stable at Kapilani Park. Whenever Koga's step-grandfather Koga was so strict and prideful because of the life he had at bed, that when all the grandkids, that was the next block, used to go over, we would have to stand in line, you know, before we go eat, and shake his hand. Yeah. He was very strict. So they bought land over here, corner of Campbell and Castle, and opened Koga grocery store and barber shop. Well, Grandma Ikeda learned the trade of father. Raymond and Wayne was babysitted by Koga's grandfather. Us older 3 kids stayed here. The temperaments of Raymond and Wayne were completely different. Wayne was respectful, obedient. Raymond was not. Grandfather Koga was very strict. One day, and I had cousins running around over there. One day, Raymond yelled at his grandfather, stormed out of the house, then proceeded to snap his grandfather's orchid. My cousin came running over here, told me, and I had to run over there because I wanted to make sure Raymond and Wayne was okay. Raymond must have gotten licking. But you know what? When I went to take him away, he didn't cry. He was angry. He was, for a little kid, he didn't cry. But he got a licking. Now, Grandpa Koga said, okay for Wayne, stay here and babysit, but Raymond not allowed. But Grandma Ikeda said, no, 2 brothers, they stick together. So that's when her parents babysitted them. over. Anyway, Grandma Ikeda, born Himiko Kaya, born 1914. Her parents, Yuichiro, Mother Tayo Muraoka, 1887. They had two brothers, Yoshiichi and Haruichi. Both of them fought in the war and are buried in Punch Bowl. Total, she had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Grandma Ikeda's father was plantation worker. Her mother, a picture bride. So while they were working plantation, Grandma had an older sister. When as a child was playing on the viaduct, she fell and died. Her father, angered that the plantation treated this as a minor incident. And so he took the only retaliation he could. Because plantation workers, you have no rights, you know? So he moved his whole family to another camp, another plantation. That's the only thing he could do. So he moved his family to Waikato plantation. Growing up there, Grandma Ikeda's father was very strict. Once she wanted material to make a dress. Went to the store where family had a charge account. At the end of the month, her father went over the family finances. Peeping at the kitchen door, she saw her father stare at the bill and just shake his head. Grandma just burst into tears. All he had to do was shake his head. I mean, so nice the kids today, you know? Those days. All he had to do was shake his head and Grandma was burst. No hitting, no lecture, just a shake of the head. Anyway, for plantation kids, they had a choice. Graduate 8th grade. Your choices was continue to high school, keep working on the plantation, or work for wealthy families, like as a maid. There was a country club there where plantation workers was not allowed. But Grandma Ikeda, she made a friend and learned to play tennis there, which was so unusual, you know. Kindly, she thanked her friend and said goodbye as she was going to live in Manoa with family as a living maid. While there, her good friend Beatrice asked her if she wanted a date. Now Grandma was 26 years old, and that was old in those days. Because her friend, 16, 17, they're married. And at 26, they already had their own home, kids, you know, husband. Grandma was still single. So when her friend asked, "You want to date this guy?" she said, "Okay." So she met Wallace and Jimmy Ikeda. First date didn't go well. She told Beatrice, her friend, she didn't want to see him again. He was too fast. But Dad, who had fallen in love, pursued. Both of them were 26 years old. This union did not go well with his family. He marrying a plantation girl. But then his family prospered. They graduated college, engineer, stockbroker, lawyer, and was a prosperous family. Meanwhile, Grandma Ikeda, she was 6 months pregnant. And talking to her once, I remarked, "Wow, you must have been a plantation girl, you know. She's marrying a rich playboy. And the family don't want her. So, but Grandma told me, you're not supposed to count. But that's when I told her, wow, you must have been so scared. You know. So, they got married and told the grandma, Dad's mother bought them this huge property on Gokao Street
What are you doing?
with Ikeda money.
Putting her on the blanket.
She did not do that for any of the other children. She told them, you have to go college and buy your own.
How old is she?
Yeah. But Grandpa Ikeda, he loved his children. While he was in town, because he used to go quadrillion, like that, couple years contract work. While he was here,
7 months.
every Friday we would go Chinese restaurant, payday, and that was for us kids to learn social graces. Okay. Now his idea of sex education was he took all of us, and where Papa John is now used to be Papa Blue Theater, and we went to the theater, and there on the screen watched a deer giving birth. I was expecting cartoons, you know. I was just a little girl. Oh. But that's even when we have to take driving lessons from him. Grandma Ikeda never drove. Grandpa Ikeda used to yell at her while she's trying to learn to drive. She never drove all her life from that experience. And I only heard this, but my sister, Maureen, above me, she tried to learn from Grandpa. And Grandpa just was yelling at her. She hit the corner of the house. She was so, but she got her license. Then came my turn. And he told me, okay, your turn. Let's go, get in the car. And so I told him, oh, thanks, Dad. But you know what? My friend already teaching me. He didn't want into reality. And for the longest time, I could feel his eyes on the back of my head looking at me. And then he walked away. And I was thinking, oh, now I gotta go find a friend to teach me how to drive. Then, during the week, he would pile us all in his car, and we go like by the hour wide to Casey Drive. He's walking by. Then one night, I was looking out and I saw a tiny houseboat he could rent and go down the hour wide. And I was looking real much car, and I had it. So I walked away all the way to Casey Driving side, and I rented a boat. But halfway down the Alawai, the boat stalled. And I kept waiting, you know, but nobody saw me, and I was there a long time. Finally somebody saw me and came to hug me back. But I told him, no, let me on the other side. I kept looking at the sun because as soon as the sun goes down, you better be home. So he left me on the Kakobu Waikiki Library. Now Wayne, he remembered after surfing, he would go to the Foster Tower drugstore. And Maureen, who worked there part-time, used to fix him a hamburger. And he said, after surfing, that's the best hamburger he ever tasted. The Maureen, she belonged to a Christian church. And one Saturday, the church had a function, and she asked her boss if she could have the day off. The boss told her no. So she thought about it, and she asked the boss, if my sister comes, can she take my place? And the boss said, okay. So she dressed me. I was only 11, 12 years old now. So she dressed me up, went to work at the Foster drugstore in Kalakaua. Foster Towers drugstore had a little cubby hole where you could see they sell ointments, band-aids. And here comes this tourist, a howdy young boy, and he asked me for selected. And I looked at him and I didn't know what that was. So I went like that, pointing at the ointment, you know. And he looked at me and he said, prophylactics! And then I pointed to the other wall. And he went, runners! Oh, this way. I showed him that the case the brothers were dead. I didn't know what that means.
Rubbers as in condoms?
Yeah. But I'm pointing to the ointment.
Soda. Chips.
But even Dawn back in school. One day after work I came home and she's arguing about a Japanese girl with Grandpa. And they're going back and forth, you know. But Dawn was like quite a good student in Japanese. Oh, the hard work. Then Dawn used to go play with Andres and Sandra. And she came home, so I asked her, "Have fun?" She said, "Yeah." But that Andres, we went to watch him and his friends play baseball. And he used us as bases. Really?
In the graveyard when we used to play.
I don't know.
I don't think I ever used you as a base. Maybe as a bat.
Well, you and Don use you as bases.
It's usually slippers as
That was-
bases.
I've been on the freeway a few times because you made me.
That's what Uncle Raymond used to always tell us. You guys go down the freeway. Right? Don't you remember that?
But Grandpa Ikeda, he was a smart guy. When he died, he was an active member of American Contract Bridge. Half his life, that's all he did was bridge. He belonged to a club that met in Princess Kailani. And even over there, he became president of that club. Then he came home one day mad. And he said, you know what the president gotta do? Set up the table and chairs. He was mad. He didn't want to be president anymore. But
You gotta tell them bridge is a part game now. They'll build the bridge like the cars.
No, he used to bring those candies. Remember all those gummy candies? That's what they used to bet, I think. He used to bring
Maybe.
all those candies home.
so this is the Bridge League and held the rating of advanced senior master. Yeah, when he died. Well, moving on. When Ray told me he was dying, he was looking forward to kidney failure or whatever. Well, he approached me by saying, the doctor told me I had old eyes. Kidney transplant in those days was new. I immediately set an appointment with Dr. Livingston Wong. I think he did the first transplant in our nation now. He's done in Hawaii. Smuckdown. So I told Dr. Wong, for Ray's transplant cost, if that was a barrier, I had property. And but Dr. Wong said, he explained this to me. This cannot be done. To have a transplant from a healthy person, it has to go in a healthy body. They both the transplant and the patient was lost. So Raymond didn't get his transplant. It was too far gone.
What kind of cancer did he have? Cancer? Did he have Steve?
So Raymond was dying.
Liver, huh?
Liver cancer.
Raymond
Hepatitis.
expressed his wishes to have ashes scattered like his dad at Waikiki Beach. But his third wife, Wally, who asked me to give the eulogy, but she had other ideas. Wayne has kept part of Raymond's ashes for 26 years. He was his brother, you know. I was cleaning up. He was a Buddhist, cleaning up, and I saw Ray's ashes. Ray, you still here?
Like this whole box?
That's
Oh.
and that's Uncle Wayne, and this is Uncle Raymond.
Oh, we're scattering both of them?
Oh, we're doing.
So today, ashes, Raymond's ashes will be scattered by his son, Steve, finally, after 26 years. And Uncle Wayne is going to be scattered by Andre. Okay?
Wait, is it? This is a biodegradable. Yeah, but this one's not. Nancy, are we doing Uncle Raymond's too?
No, we have
Oh.
been. We have been. See, now nobody scatters.
Wait, who's this right here?
Uncle Raymond?
Oh, okay, we're keeping him.
No.
Is it biodegradable?
When you first go on the boat, you take off the black, and inside there's a plastic bag. Take off the ribbon. Nobody scatters anymore. You hold this over the boat and drop. And it'll happen.
That's a plastic bag. That's not biodegradable, yeah.
It is.
Oh, Uncle Raymond.
Yep.
Oh,
We
okay.
changed it.
Oh, okay.
Carrie is the brave one. She did it.
Oh, it's your dad.
Oh, we don't just grab the ashes and throw them?
No.
You can,
Oh.
but
You gotta
now
cover
they
You're not
it.
gonna
don't
let
do
the-
it like that.
You know the Big Lebowski? So when the wind goes right back at it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we did we did that on the
That's a
canoes.
blessing.
Yeah, we did it already.
Yeah. And then one canoe like fully overed.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah?
that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's like 18 of us on
Oh,
one canoe.
who was that?
We had
We
like,
did Uncle Raymond.
yeah,
Uncle Raymond?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
What did we do?
We went out from the Elks Club, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah,
And the canoe with all the little kids.
With the pool over and Bill Water, yeah?
You know why? Because the rest of him is here. He's like, there's not my whole body going out.
Oh, Raymond and Wayne, they were carpenters.
Yeah, it went all over everybody, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Raymond and Wayne were carpenters. Raymond was for the big job. He was a builder. Wayne was a Finnish carpenter and an artist. After coming back from overseas, Ray worked for the Pagoda Hotel under Masa, head of maintenance. Workers at Pagoda did not like Ray getting the second position under Masa. You see, workers under Linda, who brought in from the Philippines, hired and promoted only Filipinos over there. Got their education from, guess what, mail order. They would get their diploma in the mail and show Linda's, and that's how they got their promotion. Masa and the owner, Hayashi, was glad to get Raymond because he had education and the vast experience, which these others didn't have, you know. So Masa, I guess, was having a hard time. So he was put into number 2 position under Masa to take his place one day. Well, this didn't go well with the person whom Ray took the position from. The guy began spreading bad things about Ray. When Ray found out, he told the guy, right now, me and you behind that building, let's go. The guy backed down. That's Uncle Ray, you know, he's like that.
Uncle Raymond was punchy. but
Little bit.
He's scary.
yeah, I was very scared of him. He came
Meanwhile,
over.
there was the sister hotel Pacific Beach. There was an engineer there. And from time to time, he used Ray for other jobs. When the engineer left Pac Beach, he told the board of directors to hire Raymond. How do you like that? You know? So, Ray worked at Pac Beach, but then he discovered he was sick. Well, at Pagoda, I thought, natto was from Japan. I sent Ray with a box of Japan natto. Masa loved it. I should have, helped Ray get in and make good with his boss. But the carpal ward is now for Steve. About 3 years ago, I used to cook all the time. There's only me and Wayne, so I was thinking, after I'm gone, who's gonna cook for him? Nobody's here, right? So I told Wayne, I'm not cooking anymore. What? But he became a pretty good cook, His shrimp tempura was the best I ever tasted. I gave him all my cookbooks. He used to go online looking for recipes. He turned out to be a good cook. And I used to work for the cherry company. And I was there in that company before. Small company. But I had a boss from Japan. And I think after so many years, this guy used to come work. But more important, he was a no-show at work. And so we used to all worry, because if we don't have goods, you have to sell or whatever. So for about a year over, I did his work and nobody knew. And how many times I used to go to his apartment and the landlord would let me in. I would have to call ambulance for the, whatever. But he was a nice guy. But when the big boss found out, not from me, but he found out, he came down and thanked me. And he sent me to Japan. So I visited from Tokyo to Kobe, and in between, Yamaka, Shoyu, Fukumaku, all the heads, the owners, the old man that I met was, I'm sitting in front of him, and he's old fashioned. He looked at me, last name Ikeda, right? Yeah. They're high-class Ikeda and low-class Ikeda. And so I'm thinking to myself, you son of a bitch. You want me to buy from you and you insulting me, but I don't say it. I just didn't say anything. But that's how Japan is. Especially with the older generation. So anyway, this went on for quite a while. And the Honolulu Japanese Chamber, I was 3 years board of directors. Here's my picture. For about 3 years, but I found out it's an old boys club where they really just get together, drink, and I'm looking for sales. So after 3 years, I told him I'll be back, and I never went back. I never went back.
Actually, Uncle Wayne and Grandpa was both 70 when they passed. Grandpa was 70.
Maybe. While at my company, and we were doing super well. From New York
The
to
drinks are behind, back in
California,
his car. Cooler.
the companies there were borderline in their finances. My company was up here, and the big boss liked that. But one day, I was looking for a Japanese catalog, and I saw these huts, Japanese huts. And I came home and I showed Rain the picture, because those huts, if I bring it in from Japan, they're between, I think that time, 6,000 to 15,000, not including shipping. So I asked him, you can make it. And he looked at it, yeah, I can make that. And there's the Polaroid, if you can pass it around.
I remember that, the sushi bar thing, yeah?
Yeah,
And then the roof would go up and down or something.
yeah.
How many did you sell?
He made about 6.
6 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, you only need one.
No, he did about 6.
Oh, you made 6 of them.
Yeah.
How much you sold them for?
We sold it for 4,000.
4,000.
Uncle made a killing on that. But
Yeah. Why never keep making more? Or have you
I
bad?
quit.
Huh?
I quit.
Oh,
I mean, he was an artist, He was an artist. He made that just from a picture.
yeah, remember these? Remember like in the driveway and
Yeah.
Look, David, look at this. Whoa, this thing's nice. Wait.
The younger baby. But
Wait, made this.
they call it yatai. But
From a picture.
what's good seller?
Did you want to do a remembrance of
Yeah, like I think for like parties.
the people?
It rolls.
Half.
Like, I remember this thing adjustable. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Auntie, did you want to do a remembrance of Uncle Wayne?
I'm gonna finish it.
Oh,
Why?
geez, sorry.
You mind?
So insulting this girl. I'll rush through it. I'll
Oh,
rush
yeah,
through
Sandra.
it.
She'll rush through it for you.
Didn't know we were going through Auntie's life now. Okay.
So, finally, after working over there 20 years, I was with about 5 years I was doing it. But I wasn't getting that pay. So, the big boss came and I told him, you pay me what's right. And that time was 80,000. You pay me what's right. And he was going to send me on another trip to Japan. That's how he chefs up his other employees, But hey, with this company, you're really doing well. Not like your other companies. But anyway, when I quit, my last paycheck was 80 grand. Yeah, I got it. But I didn't want to stick around that society. Common for me. And when we were little, coming out the back door, I saw Raymond carrying all these rocks. Kendra, rock fight, let's go. Okay. So when I got to the front, the deal was to pay him for the picture. He was so angry. He copied me. He swore to pray. And he came home, and Uncle George came flying over the hill. Wayne, go back. I promise you, you'll get your truck. Wayne looked at him like crazy or what. Well, anyway, when Raymond first
whoever.
first marriage was to Jason's mother, Karen. They lived on George Street. They were young, and Karen gave birth to Jason. He was premature, and they didn't have insurance. So Raymond was carpenter. Karen went back to school in wage, so he would get paid weekly. Today, if you don't have insurance, you owe the hospital hundreds of thousands for premature birth. Those days must have been thousands. But every Friday, Raymond got paid. He went to Queens and he paid, and he paid. Then the last day finally came, his last payment. He went to Queens, and Raymond is so sociable that he made friends with them. You know what? His last payment day, they stood up and they applauded him. They were all so happy. But Raymond, he knew duty, he knew obligation, and he cleared that bill. But meanwhile, while supporting Karen through UH, she found a boyfriend. So that ended that marriage. You know, when I was in high school, I was senior, and the group I hung around with, one day, I think it was lunchtime, and one of the boys, Glenn Kofi, told me, Kendra, you gotta do it. So I told him, I don't gotta do anything, you know, but what's up? And he said, Kendra, you gotta do it. So I told him, what? There was a handicapped boy. He wore this medal on, you know, for his walk. His name was Robin, and he was a junior, but a pretty smart kid, although he was handicapped. But he was in many of our senior classes. He was smart. Robin wants to date you this Saturday. And I said, what? Robin who? You know what? And they said, Robin wants a lunch date with you on Saturday. Kendra, you gotta go, because we all love Robin, you know. So I think about it, because I don't want to hurt Robin. But okay. And there was a Ala Moana restaurant, Laurent, high class. So I said, okay, this is it. Tell Robin.
No, somebody is there.
Oh, is there another bathroom? Oh, get back out. Oh, no. I don't know how you're going to get through. Can you take her to the back?
It works.
Yeah.
The bathroom open now?
Nobody's in there.
Nobody's in there.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So anyway, I went to lunch. I met him there, and there we were. I looked across, I saw Robin, but he was sitting down. He's always hiding those crutches, you know, making like he's normal, I guess. And I, hi Robin, you know, sat down and talked and all this. But do you know, years later, the Sunday paper, whole page on Robin. He was good looking, he was buffed up, his upper body. He was married with 3 kids, and where Midas is now, he was opening a business there. Also, his mother was see, Robin had one problem. He didn't know he was handicapped. You know? He thought he was regular. So nothing held him back. And your neighbor across the street, that boy, from small kid time, the father would fast in, I don't know, maybe his mind, running up and down the street. Up and down the street. And the neighbors telling him, the father yelling at the boy, you know, if you don't do this, I will send you back to Korea and all this. Get after. You know, today, his name is David. He has a job, Tripler Hospital, the computer department. I used to see him 4 o'clock in the morning, drive by himself a Tripler. Because the freeway empty, right? Now, he's used to it. He leaves quarter to 6. I mean, those parents, how do they do this?
The house right there.
Yeah. How do they accomplish this kind of, this is a miracle, but they do it. You know. I wish Chantel heard about that. It depends on the parent. It depends on the parent. Well, then Steve, when you went to live at your grandma's house, your grandma didn't care for your dad, and so generally speaking, you can't. But I used to get you. I used to get you once in a while. Used to come over.
Summertimes.
No thanks. No, don't thank me because. So one morning I was gonna make scrambled eggs, and you were helping me crack the eggs and mix the eggs. But I cooked it. But you went home and early in the morning you wanted to surprise everybody. So you tried to cook by yourself. And your mom called me. She was stuttering. She was stuttering, you know. Did you let Steve cook? And I was thinking, oh, the poor fellow, you know. I'm just gonna get it. So I just kept quiet. But I didn't see you around for a long time. Well, the house not burned. The house not burned.
I make great eggs.
Your mom was shaking when she called me.
I'll be the judge next week Sunday.
And
Forget the
pretend you're
Portuguese
not
sausage
allowed.
rice.
And the upstairs from across the street, the lady, I guess real estate. But one day I saw a policeman looking at my car out there. So I went out and asked him, what's up? And apparently her name is Susan. Abigail. She called because she told me she hit my car a little bit. But the car was so old, I told her, oh, don't worry about it, forget it. But she thought I didn't have insurance or I was illegal or something. That's why I told her that. So she called the police, you know, to check. Yeah, so that's when I went out. But the police told her, no, get insurance, everything okay, you know. So she was so apologetic. So finally, I told her, I noticed your boyfriend always pounding out dents in your car. If you feel like that, tell him he can pound out the dent if he feels that way, you know, on my car. But no need bother insurance and all that. What for? My car old, you know. But she was so grateful. Then she got to know Wayne. And she gave Wayne a couple years carpentry work. Because I guess she would fix up the houses, you know, for sale. So Uncle used to go in and do that kind of stuff, which was nice. So you become friends, you know, after a while. But Oh, she called the police. You banged me and you called the police. She was weird. Then, Uncle Wayne with Kalapana. You know, all you folks remember Japanese style. When you enter a home, you always say something. You don't just quietly walk in like a thief. You say, "Hi, I'm home," or something just to announce. Even if nobody's home, you go, "I am home." And when you leave, you say, you know, "See you," or "I'm going." That's just the Japanese way. So one day I saw a long white limo out here. Kalapana had a concert, I think at the show. And then Wayne, he's running to the limo. "See you, Kendra." Japanese style, I got on.
My friend was his mom passed away a couple years before, and he lived by himself in like Hawaii guy by me. He was leaving his house. He goes, "Okay, I'll see you." And then I go, "Oh, you live with somebody now?" He goes, "Oh no, that's just habit. Like even though my mom's gone, I still do that."
That's good manners, you know.
Maybe it's Japanese style, yeah.
Yeah. You do that when you go home. Get in the habit.
He lived by himself. He's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just good manners. Okay, Steve, you do that now. 100, you do that. It's just good manners. Anyway,
Steve never said he's gonna go.
I used to. I mean, that time I was looking out there, you know, and Kalapana was in the big limo. They were going off to their concert, and I was thinking, there's a song, not the words of the song, but the title. "All that glitter is not gold." You heard? All that glitter is not gold. Yeah. So. Then I was on company business in Las Vegas, and I hit not big, but enough. I think Don then $1,000, and I bought for Wayne since he liked that kind of stuff. On $300, Hard Rock Cafe leather jacket. So Kyle was in there looking for me for keys to the car and all that. So I said, "Hey, while you're in there, try to see if you still got that Hard Rock leather jacket." And then he came out with it. He still had it. That's the one you want?
It's a large, right? I'm double XL. So
That's what I mean. Everybody. You, what size shoe? It's a large. But you know, that thing is out of date already. But I was thinking,
Yeah, retro is in sometimes.
huh?
Like retro stuff is popular.
Yeah, maybe. The thing is about 25, 30 years old.
He's a large time ago.
The girls. You gotta
Preston,
get.
Preston.
The leather
Oh
jacket.
yeah, Preston is a large.
Hey.
The Hard Rock. Huh?
Then,
Sammy might want it.
huh?
Leather jacket. Uncle Wayne. It's a large. It's an old school retro Hard Rock Cafe leather jacket. She wants it. Sold.
Then you know who John Cruise is? John Cruise. Oh, the eye. You know what?
I'm the mountain dew.
Yeah. Well, Eddie Boy's uncle died. And Bishop Museum with the funeral and all that. But what's it called, where you go eat and stuff, was at Paradise Park. And the musicians were no show. You know, Uncle's friends who promised to play after he died, they were all no show, so no music or what. Then I didn't know him, but John Cruise came in. And he said, where's the equipment? He was living on Maui. But he came to do a KGMB special on that. He told me, where's the equipment? It's like, oh, he introduced himself to John. Those are the musicians, the equipment were all no show. But you know what? We get plenty food for help. And he's staring at me like this, his eyes going back and forth. I thought, oh, he's thinking. And he told me, you know what? I have a friend that lives in Manila and has the equipment. I'm going to get it now. I'll be right back. And he rushed out. Next thing you know, he's playing on stage. You know, this John too, he does it island style. I mean, even after you're dead, right? Even after you're dead,
Whose
he
funeral was
kept
that?
his promise.
Whose funeral was that for?
Oh, Eddie's uncle,
Eddie's uncle.
Herman.
Oh, and John Cruz knew him.
Yeah. See, the uncle sponsored and helped teach a drug rehabilitation program. And John was in it. And that's how they got to know each other. But they were good friends. But this John, right? I mean, who does that? Who does that? And he lives on Maui, you know, he had to think who get equipment, where can we go. So he played. He played. Now, when Raymond was dying, all waiting for him to die. And I told Ray, you know what, do me a favor. But Uncle Raymond loves Liz and like him. Likes to organize. You first place, you second. Yep. So I said, do me a favor. You know, after you die, send me a sign that there's a God and heaven. Thinking about it. Now he's dying now. And he said, okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. There's a bell. There's a bell. And if there's a God, after I die, if there's a God and a heaven, I'm going to ring that bell. I went to sleep, but they all came get me. The bell was ringing. The bell.
Was that Buddha?
Then I had a dream. I had a dream of Raymond. In that dream, there was a, you see, I'm accountant, I'm logical. But in that dream, there was a railroad track. Raymond was on the platform and I was on his side. And Raymond told me, you know, to go play. So I said, okay. So I don't know what we did, but we played the game. Then he was on the platform and I was on his side. And he told me, come with me. And you know that being there, that feeling was so peaceful. I've never felt like that before. It's such a wonderful feeling. It's like no stress or, you know. But then I looked back and I told Raymond, I cannot now, but I will later. And I turned and I couldn't stop. I don't know, I never had that kind of dream before in my life. But your father must be strong, you know? You know? He must be strong. And then I dream of him. With Wayne, the day that he died, we were waiting for the medical examiner. There was a white dove circling with a black beast circling the property in Florida. That's why on the paper you see a dove with a black beak. Everybody was sick. That's Uncle Wayne. But yeah. I don't know. It's up to you folks. There's a God and there's a
And
heaven.
that dove tripped me out. It was like a perfect dove, bro.
Yeah.
It came in and then turned around and flew away.
Everybody saw. There's a dove on your paper. It's a black bee.
It's like the whitest dove you ever seen.
I never saw a dove before. We have them here, huh?
Guess so. I think
It's
it
the
flew from
first
California.
time.
Yeah. It flew across the ocean. Just broke away.
So, any of you have any thoughts or memories of Uncle Wayne or Uncle Ray?
Uncle Wayne, he always used to bring mangoes. I always dropped them off at our house. Very thankful to do that. For Uncle Raymond, he let me borrow his black compass when I got my driver's license. And
Did you borrow what?
he had a black Cutlass Supreme.
Oh!
And he let me go out on a date with that Cutlass Supreme.
Wow.
Is that
I
Joy?
didn't know that.
And then it was pulling me to rise when I was coming down. I started pumping the brakes, and the brakes wouldn't work.
Oh!
Oh shit.
It's like,
Oh my
so I
gosh.
slammed on the parking brake, and the car that was in front stopped. And I kept trying to stop the car, but they ended up hitting the car. But not damage it, just hit it. So, what do you do? What do you do? It's 60 time, right? Oh, right. The brakes gave up. We were on a little bit of rise. And then he came up, and he said, I got to take care of it. Thank you. That was a good thing.
I remember something about Ray.
That truck too, the B2000, the racks. I was Dad, I borrowed your truck, went down the road and like, pushed the brake all the way, not doing nothing. Pumping it and like slowing down and paused, creeping this car and I went, ah, it pump some more and then stopped. Oh, it spun around, came back. Dad, I don't like borrowing your truck.
Smart.
I
and
remember.
I think his e-brake never worked either. It's crazy.
I remember when Uncle Raymond used to take us crabbing, Hawaii pie with the nets, and then after we caught the crab, our prize was, you know, where that thing in the claw where you can pull like this white part and it opens and closes the claw, and that was our it's like this white part that opens and closes, and that was our prize. But yeah,
Get to take it home.
yeah, play with it.
Take it to school.
But that was like one of the best things that we did. We always used to go Hawaii Thai crabbing. Yeah, that was fun.
When I was like 18, I moved downstairs over here. And then we make big noise. Remember that again? Big noise. You don't know it. But Uncle Raymond knew because his house was right there. And every other night you go over it. Damn it! Oh, all red faced. And then all my friends are all like scared. Then keep it down. Like, every night he come over. We do them again the next night.
Uncle Raymond.
Uncle Raymond.
Oh, did Uncle Wayne ever like yell and get mad?
No.
And he's closer, yeah. Uncle Raymond was closer to my. He never yelled at me.
He wasn't home that time.
And then
Sleeping.
I remember when Uncle Raymond was sick, and then like he lost he had like high voice, yeah. He lost his voice, remember that? And then I would go visit him, and like I remember he was so nice, like always like checking on me, and like I remember he was like super nice at the end, you know?
How about his air condition? He used to get the milk cartons, freeze water, give a block of ice, point the fan on the block of ice, and then the cold air. That was his AC.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the old school AC.
So we're talking about Uncle Raymond
Yeah.
or Uncle Wayne?
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Raymond, I was afraid of him.
Oh my god.
He used to always want to hug you, and she'd be like this, and he always wanted to just grab you.
I remember. No, because I used to be scared of him. And then I remember we had to go to your house over here back there. And he made us food or something. I don't know. Like I didn't even want the food. Nadia didn't want it. It was me and Nad sitting in the kitchen. put it in front of us, and he'd make us eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it all.
Yes, that's what you guys do.
You're not leaving until you
I'm
eat
over
it.
there. I'm over there.
No.
And then,
It's like beets.
yes, I put
like
beets and
beets.
beets and like,
I remember.
and I was so scared, and I was crying, and
And you
Nadia,
eat all, right? You eat all?
no, Nadia took it from me.
Oh.
are you really?
Yeah, you took it. And then
don't
Nadia
think
took it
so.
from me, and then we were waiting, and as soon as he turned his back and left, Nadia threw it in the rubbish and we ran. We ran out the house.
No, what we used to do is me and Don, we have a cloth napkin. You can't leave the table until it's all gone. And we put it in a napkin. And then spread out the rest of the food so it looks like there's nothing. Take that napkin, go in the bathroom and dump it in the trash can in the bathroom. But we couldn't leave the table. And he said it was vitamins. And then I couldn't swallow, and he said, cuts open the Vienna sausage, puts it in there, and eats the Vienna sausage. So I'm eating around the vitamin, and I'm like, I cannot swallow this. And hide them in the scrambled eggs, and I'm like, Uncle, I cannot swallow this.
Like a dog.
He always made us eat like hours. He make us sit there, and it's like,
Yes, hours. Did he do that to you?
Yeah, did you do it to you every day?
I don't think so.
like, he don't
maybe yeah, you
food.
probably were a good boy.
I'm trained already. From
He was
birth.
like, is there any more food?
I love
Anymore?
You guys left food on your plate?
That was a no-no in Raven's house.
I think I ate at his house one time. That was it.
Never.
Oh, no, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry.
He always had food, yeah? There's always cooking or something. He's like, oh, I'm so hungry, Uncle. You're like, eat. No, I'm good. I'm good. Very good. That was because he was scary. Like, he made you eat all his food. Like, yeah. And he was mad about it.
But he was fun during New Year's and Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He went all out. Yeah,
He's all
he would
drunk.
take us, yeah, take us all around. The fireworks all the way up the light. It wasn't the same after he passed away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, after a couple of years, hurricane, we would rush down here and hurricane. And so, okay. Close all the windows, and he closes every window. Then he go back upstairs. No more 5 minutes. He came down. No, the windows. Open all your windows. And he started opening. And the wind, strong wind comes through. He's, you know. Oh. But I remember when Grandma Ikeda passed away. He found out where she was being cremated, and he went to Kaneohe. He sat in front of the building while she was being cremated. And he didn't want her to be alone. I mean, he was so nice that way. You know, and then after she passed, what was in her, I made an album, and she used to embroider pillowcases, you know, flowers or whatever. And so I showed that this one was still in her bag, so she didn't finish it, but I put it in the album. He saw that and he cried. Unfinished work. He had his real soft side, thoughtful side.
Yeah, he was good. Me and Don used to steal Uncle Wayne's loose coins always in his room. Whenever he came home, he'd empty out his pockets and all that, and me and Don went to get icy. Or we'd ask him, Uncle, can we get icy money? And he would give us.
Wait, Uncle Wayne had
Uncle Wayne
that?
was in this room.
Oh, where were
Him
you?
and Auntie Cheryl. Auntie Kendra wasn't living here.
Maybe I was gone. I
Yeah,
came
she
back,
was-
but I was
She used to live
gone.
behind Leonard's Bakery.
Oh, so Uncle Wayne was always here.
Uncle Wayne was always
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh.
That was his room, that was Dad's office, and that was Grandma's room. Yeah.
Oh. So Dad's office, has he had that house right
We
here?
didn't have that house
Oh,
then.
okay, okay.
I don't think so. Yeah. Whose house was it? Grandma told us. That's Grandpa's mom, yeah? Or Grandma's?
That's Grandpa Ikeda. Oh.
That was Grandpa
His
Ikeda's.
whole property was This
grandpa.
used to be an old Japanese language school. We went up the hill, but the owner, which is what's his name? Okimoto next door, they sold half the property to Grandpa.
Oh.
But we were brought up in schoolroom.
And Grandpa only had two sisters, three sisters. I thought he was the only child.
Yeah, he had one retarded sister that he actually lived in Japan.
So who was the three sisters that?
That was Grandma.
Oh.
But the sister that was born here, that was Lillian. But you see, in those days, it wasn't prejudice, but they don't want you marrying Hawaiian. It was economic.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird. Since we're in Hawaii.
No, you're looking at now. This was long time ago. That so Grandpa and I used to go 1 hour and visit them, and he went there to give them money. Even though he had 5 kids here, he always thought his sister. She married Kaunori. You know, Rada is. His middle name is Kaunori. But I love my Uncle Solomon. He was such a gentle person, you know. In later years, I found out he was a naturalist. Herbs, yeah. I think he opened a small shop in Hanisi Town.
Oh, and they were raised by Manalo?
He had a farm in Waimanalo, pig farm. So we used to, Grandpa and I used to go up there and sometimes sleep over.
Okay. Wonderful.
What is that? Oh, fan!
Yes, they're wonderful.
How did you get?
I ordered.
Oh! Something you're selling.
No,
Gala.
I just
It's always
ordered.
selling something.
Yeah. It's in her vending machine.
Yes.
Yeah!
That's
Good idea.
I have vending machines.
Oh, give me
Yeah.
25%.
That's my side job. You know,
Oh.
Surf Pole, my Pahu and Puna,
Yeah.
the vending machines and the sales and service, that's mine. So
Oh.
go there hungry, and then there's snacks and drinks.
You should sell those vending. You should sell, yeah?
I should. Yeah? You see me, right? Where'd you get them, the fans?
You should put UH football on it. You go to the football games.
No, this one I got at Plaza, but I ordered online because look how wonderful it is. And you just kind.
I'd rather have one with batteries than I don't know how to do this.
I have.
Batteries.
There, I have one with batteries. Right there. But the blade might fly out. You have to sign the waiver. You're not going to sue.
Sammy, what grade are you now? What?
Junior.
11th.
11th grade.
Last time I asked you that, I thought you were a freshman.
That was 2
That
years ago.
means you asked her 2 years ago.
She's going to be 16.